great to meet you, Ali. Welcome to Australia.
Thanks.
And I think our Australian audiences would like to know a little about you. Can you go back to the beginning and tell us how you came to music and the guitar?
Sure. I came to music through piano, and I'm not very good anymore, but I started on piano when I was a little girl, about 7 years old. And my parents always encouraged me to play music. I don't think they expected me to pursue it as a career necessarily. But when I was about 12, I started getting into rock music and Zeppelin and all kinds of, heavy metal bands like Metallica.
And I thought, last night.
Oh yeah, I did. Awesome. And I just thought guitar was way cooler than piano. And so, my parents were like, well, as long as you keep playing an instrument, we don't care if it's, guitar, piano, whatever. So that's when I switched to guitar.
Yeah. Now, you also studied opera singing.
I did, yeah. I loved singing, and I still do. But when I was in college, I was a music major, and I was a voice major.
Yeah.
But opera singing was not really for me. It wasn't good for me. So after a couple of years, I stopped that kind of singing and kind of took a little break. And then when I started singing again, I started singing rock music.
Right. Yeah. What did you get out of that?
Out of
the opera training?
Well, I got a lot out of the music theory, actually. Yeah. I really, I think it was really helpful for me even as a rock guitar player to know music, especially as a female musician working with primarily male musicians. And as a singer-songwriter, often male musicians that I encounter are used to dealing with female singer-songwriters who don't know anything about music. And so I get, I think, a little bit more respect from people when they realize I do know, a little bit about music. Yeah.
Now, you play electric and acoustic guitar. Can I ask you about your electric guitars? What's in your armory?
Yeah. My latest one, Fender actually built me a custom shop Telly that I love. It's fantastic. It has a maple fretboard and vintage noiseless pickups, and I've got that. I've got a Strat from the 80s. That's great. I inherited that from an ex-boyfriend, actually.
Does he know?
That's great. He does know. He had to leave the country, and so he left it behind, so I benefited from that. And I also have a really nice Les Paul.
Yeah.
Those are my primary electric guitars.
What are you playing it through? What's your amp?
Supersonic, Fender Supersonic. I just love that amp. It's really versatile. It's fantastic.
How about your pedals?
I've got all kinds of stuff. I kind of experiment, and I'm not really. I'm not so much of a gear whore, so to speak, like a lot of the guy guitar players that I know. Although I do have this wah pedal. I love the Snarling Dog. I love that one. And there's some great Wampler pedals, boost pedals, and the triple rec distortion. But I kind of experiment and change it up a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Your acoustic guitars?
Well, right now I'm playing a Guild for this whole tour, which is fantastic. Yeah, I just love it. It's really bright sounding. It's super loud, which I love because when I play aggressively, it really responds. Yeah, it's really nice. You love me.
telling me before that you do a variety of gigs back in America, including house parties.
Yeah, house concerts, which is a little different from a house party.
Right.
Because it's a concert being held in someone's home, as opposed to, when I think of a house party, I think of somebody kind of playing cover songs in the background.
Yeah.
This is a completely different experience where, some people have a professional house concert series, and they invite people. They have a huge mailing list. I did one for like 150 people in their backyard. They had a full PA, and people really know about it. And some pretty notable guitar players tour around doing these house concerts, and people sit, they listen, and it's a really great way to connect with your audience and for them to hear the stories behind the music.
Yeah, yeah. I'd like to ask you about your development as a player on the guitar. Mm-hmm. Who were you listening to when you were young? Who impressed you and influenced you?
Jimmy Page.
Yeah.
He was I always wanted to be Jimmy Page.
What is it about him that you like?
The riffs.
Yeah.
I love the riffs. Plus, he was just super cool, and I was a girl. I thought he was cute, Besides that, but as a player, it was really the riffs and the songwriting. I mean, his musicality is incredible. He's not the cleanest player, but that to me is not what speaks to me.
No.
Like I love the soul and the melodies. I can sing those, those guitar solos and those riffs, just the riffs that make up those songs. Just, years later, every time I hear pretty much any Zeppelin song, it just gets me,
You learned them all?
No, I didn't learn them all. I learned some of them, but I didn't learn them all.
It is funny, like some guitar players you talk to, they did. They'll go and learn every solo of their favourite player.
Yes.
And then others won't learn one, but they just listen and sort of, so everyone's got a different way of getting to where they are
I
as
think
players.
so too, yeah. And I always kind of envied those people who did sit and learn every single lick and every single solo and thought, I should be doing that. But I guess as a songwriter and somebody who does a lot of different things, not just playing guitar, singing, writing, lyrics, all that kind of stuff, I guess I divide my energies between different aspects of the music.
Yeah. Well, can I ask you about your songwriting? Obviously, Led Zeppelin would be an influence on anyone that would play electric guitar today.
Yeah.
How do you write your songs?
It depends on the song. I mean, when I first started writing, I was really approaching it more from a guitar standpoint, so it would often start out with a riff. And sometimes I still write like that. I'll get a cool riff and just kind of noodle around with that, and then maybe a melody will come to me. And sometimes it's a lyric. Sometimes it's a lyrical idea. It used to be when I was really sad, I would write in my journal and, just kind of everything that would come to me, and then there might be one little cool line in there that I could kind of develop a song from.
Right.
Yeah.
Are your solos improvised, or you compose them to fit the song?
I usually compose them to fit the song, yeah. In the studio, sometimes I'll come in with something that's pretty much composed, and then I'll do a bunch of takes, and if something cool develops from that, I'll use that, but most of the time it's pretty much composed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you have a new album that you're out here promoting. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me about the album?
Yeah, it's called Make Your Move, and it was produced by Seth Horan, who is a 2-time Grammy winner, actually. Amazing producer engineer, and we worked on this record for a long time. It was a long time in the making. I recorded all the guitars at a project studio, actually, in Camarillo, California. It's called Nervawap Studios, and is owned by an amazing guitar player named Bob DeMarco. And he was so incredibly generous with his time and his studio. He let me come in, and because I'm not such a gearhead, and he's that typical amazing player. He has every amp, every guitar, every pedal known to mankind. It's absolutely amazing. And we would spend like 45 minutes getting like the perfect sound for this solo or that rhythm part. And then we'd record, and because it was in his studio, I didn't feel that time pressure that I often feel, on a recording project. And we got the best guitar sounds I've ever had on any record, and I laid down a lot of guitars on this record, a lot of heavy guitar music, and there's some ballads in the record, but primarily it's a pretty heavy guitar record influenced by classic rock.
Yeah. And here in Australia, it seems America's just such a bastion for great musicians. You know, it must be an amazing thing to live there and be able to interact and meet and go and see all of those people.
Yeah, and it's amazing, especially now with so many independent artists. I mean, I have so many friends living in Los Angeles. You know, it's a blessing and a curse. It's very hard to get noticed as a musician because everybody's a musician there. You know, you throw a rock and somebody's either an actor or a musician or both, you know. But I have so many friends who are incredible songwriters, incredible singers, incredible guitar players, and not very many people know about them. You know, they're independent artists, they're slogging it out in the clubs, you know. There's so much talent out there right now. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah,
with you know, we were talking about MI before, and just the proliferation of teaching institutions. There's just so much there.
Yeah.
Do you tour a lot in America?
I haven't recently, but I would like to start again. You know, something I'm trying on this Australian tour that I haven't done for a long time is, you know, because my record is a rock record, and I like to actually show people that I can solo on electric guitar, and it's kind of hard to do when you're a solo acoustic performer. I'm trying something new that if it works out well here, I'd like to try in the States too, which is we've taken tracks from my record, and we've taken off the lead guitar, and we've taken off the lead vocal, and so I can play along with those tracks. And I'm trying it out actually with the Line 6, the new pod, the HD 500 floor pedal. So I've kind of, you know, whipped up some sounds in there, and we're going to experiment with that and see if that works. And if it does, it's a really great way to tour as an independent artist. It's more cost effective than bringing a whole band, even though my dream is to tour the world with my band. That's the most fun I have is playing with my band. They're amazing musicians.
Who have you got?
I've got a drummer named Adam Gust, who's absolutely incredible. I have a guitar player named Daniel Brecker, and he plays rhythm guitar in my band, and he sings background vocals. And he actually has his own band, a real heavy rock band. The name is slipping me right now. Drugstore Fanatics. Yeah, they're great. And my bass player is phenomenal. His name is Orlando Sims.
Yeah. Well, if someone wants to hear your music, how would they get a hold of it?
My website, AliHandal.com, and also iTunes. Everything's up on iTunes. Right. The name of, or the spelling of my name is a little bit tricky. It's Handal is Handal.
Yeah, so. Just like George Frederick.
No, he's EL, but that's what a lot of people do. Actually, if you type that into the browser, I think you'll still get me. You know, I think I bought the misspellings too.
Yeah. What subjects do you write about with your songs?
Well, like every singer-songwriter, I have a lot of sad love songs. I have a few happy love songs. I have songs. I don't do too much political writing, although I did write a song about canned hunting, which not many people know what that is.
I don't know what it is.
It's something, it's actually very prevalent in the States, which people don't even realize. It's basically hunting animals that are enclosed, whether that's in a cage and just shooting a bear in a cage and taking the head and the skin for a trophy. They pay a lot of money for this, or a tiger or a lion. After their days at the zoo are over, sometimes they get sold to these places. Or if it's a deer and they're grazing, but it's all in an enclosed space. So people pay a lot of money so that they can easily kill an animal. And it's actually a huge problem in South Africa. They breed lions for this, and I'm a huge cat lover, and so I wrote a song called Can't Hunt, which is on the new record, just to let people know that that's going on, and you know, I'd like to get that stopped. But other than that, I do have my happiest song probably is a song I wrote about my cat Indy.
What is it about?
It's about my awesome cat Indy, and when I perform it live, people meow with me. So
that's in the chorus?
Yes, it is. And actually, when on the actual record, I followed Indy around with a microphone, and I got his meows on tape. So he is on my record.
Right, that's right. Now, how do we get to see Indy in action singing with you?
Indy, okay, well, he's crazy. He has his own page on my website. So if you go to AliHandal.com and you click on Indy the Cat, you will go to his own page on my site, and you can see him singing with me. He likes to warm up when I warm up my voice at home. He will often accompany me. So I took a little video of that, and his song is up there, and there's little pictures of him, and It's very goofy, but I have a lot of cat lovers as fans, so there's a lot of cat lovers
well,
out
there
there.
you go. There you go. Well, it's been great to talk to you, and I hope this is just the first of many visits.
Thank you so much, Steve.